guys, FJ Eric here, and I'm mixing it up a little bit different this time on this camping trip. These are all the supplies that I'm gonna have, and I'll show you what that is in just a second. But everything that I'm gonna be camping with is gonna fit into this Dollar General bag. All right, so the reason I'm doing this is I've had a bunch of people always be like, oh man, I would love to go camping, like your videos, blah, 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 but I just don't have any of the equipment you have. Well, you don't need any of that. I did not start out with any of that, and you don't need any of that. So this is gonna be my night tonight, super simple, slimmed down to just the essentials. Now this is not a survival list or anything like that, because obviously I would have a little bit more things and recommend a few more things that you would possibly need to have. This is literally just for a one-night camp. First thing is gonna be the sleeping bag. All right, gotta have something to sleep in, gotta have something to sleep on. Gonna be the hammock. Really like this brand. Pillow, which you don't have to have, but if you remember in one of my other videos where my other one had went flat, my pillow had a hole in it, so it just kept going flat, and like you know, you want to have something underneath your head. So I just kept waking up, probably, you know, I don't know, it seemed like every like 40 minutes or something like that, having to like put air back in the pillow. So I did end up getting a new one. So I'll be testing that out tonight. Want to have something to charge your phone with or whatever. In this case, mine's going to be also camera, batteries, and light. Speaking of lights, you do want something. Even though I will have my camera light, I'm still going to have a headlamp because that's what you would have. My bathroom supplies is only going to be toothbrush and toothpaste and a comb for in the morning. I'm also going to be cooking too, so you can actually get smaller little propane mixes of this. This is the only one they had, so I got it. Everything to cook in is going to be in this little pouch, and I'll break that down as soon as I get to the camp. Show you what's inside. Very cool. Something to cook. This is actually going to be a rice quinoa mix that I'm going to be trying out. Thought it would be really cool for backpacking. Canned chicken, as always, usually, and some mixed chili beans. Along with all that, gotta have some water. And this is going to be what I'm going to be drinking, cooking with. Washing the pans and everything, but I'll get to that later. So, in the DG bag it goes. Alright, that's everything. Boom. That's all I'm gonna have tonight. And you probably noticed that I was on a tailgate of a truck, and that's because I am borrowing my brother's truck for this trip. Just so you know that I don't have anything that I normally have in the FJ. So we're just gonna go ahead and lock the door. Lock the door. There we go. And we don't even need these anymore. Oh wait, where's my phone at? We are at Cherokee Rock Village in Leesburg, which I've stayed up here a few times, used to work up here, really cool place. I got a few friends that rock climb a good bit up here. I used to, don't really that much anymore, but still a really cool spot if you haven't been. All right, we got a pretty good little drop off right here. Long time ago, I used to could make that jump. But super cool view. It's gonna be really awesome in the morning. If it's not too foggy, it may be. But like I said, not a long hike down here. It is about 7:30. I thought I might be able to make it out here before dark. So a long time ago, there used to be a tree like right in here. So you'd have like, you could go off this way to this one and then also to this one. But they don't have that one anymore. So I'm trying to figure out where I want to be. It's kind of high. I may just have to put it back there. It looks like over like in maybe another trail. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and do that. So starting with the first thing out of the bag, the hammock. I've had it forever. This is actually what I used to have when I camped in Georgia. I was camping in Georgia 4 nights a week as a zipline tour guide. And all I had was this hammock and a tarp. I didn't even have a stove to cook on. Like, any of that. So you definitely don't need anything to start camping. If you've never used one of these, they're very easy to set up. And also you can get these really cheap. But what you're gonna do is take these straps out. I usually just throw those to whatever trees that I'm gonna hook up to. Being number 1 and number 2. Ooh. Then you're gonna unroll the bag. So the cool thing that I like about the Kamiq is if you can, that may not focus in, but you can see like the fibers, it's almost like cross-threaded, which makes it super durable. All right, then you're gonna find your tree and your strap, throw it around. Take that little carabiner, hook it into these. I just do it like this to begin with. If you need longer, then obviously you can run this through, and then you know this one will extend all the way out. But just to get an idea, first I usually just clip it right here because you will have to do a lot of adjusting. But I am going to raise this side up a little bit. And now everybody's going to tell you what's the best way to hang the hammock as far as like how high and stuff. This is just my preference, and I know that's going to change for everybody. Belly button, yeah. So then when you have your weight on it, you know, you'll hang about where your knees may be. I like to be about right there. That way I can take my shoes off and stuff without having to touch the ground in case it gets wet or anything. But yeah, like I said, if I actually had like a backpack and stuff, I probably would have brought a tarp, maybe a rain jacket, and some other stuff to jazz it up just in case. But I checked the weather and we're supposed to be good. Not that I have the best of luck. And I always like to have my head just a little bit higher than my feet. I mean, just slightly, like maybe like this. I think that helps with circulation and stuff. You never want your head obviously lower than your feet. But next thing out of the bag is going to be the quilt. And if you remember my review about the sleeping bag versus the quilt, I will always go with the quilt. One other thing about hammocks, they are pretty thin. So I do like to have something underneath. So you don't always have to be wrapped up, you know. So if I do get warm with this, I can just lay on top of it, and that way the breeze won't hit me. And that usually does really well. Here she is. Everything that I'm using, I'll put in the description. Roughly 2 blows, that's pretty good. So now let's get to cooking. So these little backpacking pots and stuff are actually really cool. They came in handy like several times. So you get this little carrying case, and I've kind of personalized this one actually, which you'll do the same. So you get 2 pans, this small one and this like medium one. You get a lid. I always recommend having a lid because if you're trying to boil water or something, it boils faster with the lid on there and you waste less gas. But here's some common stuff that I like to keep in here. This little lighter thingy, and I'll show you how that works. But mine also has lighter in it, but if it happens to go out, that's why I always keep the lighter on deck. Never know. Got a little wooden spoon. Also have a fork to cook with, or spork, whatever. I've got some spices. I got this multi-spice, I'm pretty sure at Walmart. Ignore all the names on there. I've actually kind of made my own. I didn't really like anything that they had, so I just replaced them with what I like and use. Always like to have a pretty good knife. And I've got some olive oil, which I know it says hand sanitizer, but you kind of have to get a little crafty when you're camping. Same thing with this mouthwash bottle. It's actually dish detergent is what I use. It all fits in there. And then an actual brush, which I just cut the handle off a regular one that I use at my house. So that's everything. That's everything you need. All right, so let's get this set up. I usually always cook in this big one. That small one I usually just leave everything in so it's not on the ground. My parents were actually the one that told me about this quinoa rice mix. It's supposed to already be cooked. It says 1 minute. Remove film completely before heating 1 minute. So we're about to see. Up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you just heat this up. I know this sounds weird, but it kind of tastes like sunflower seeds. This screws on to the end. The tops of these unfold. And that's actually what you're going to set your pan on. Now while that's going, don't have a can opener, so that is what this handy dandy knife is going to be for. It's probably not the safest way, so definitely be careful if you're doing this. Now with the backpacking stuff, type food and everything, there's so many different options. Like I could have just had like the little dollar tuna thing or something, but I kind of wanted to make a little bit of something. And as y'all know, none of my meals are very complicated. The reason that I chose the mixed chili beans was because they usually come in sauce. Obviously it's different types of beans, but it comes with like in a sauce, not kind of like the black beans where it's just kind of like water, you know, which those are fine for certain things, but that way you don't have to have like anything else with you really. And two, I realized that this is kind of heavy for like a backpacking meal, which is why I said I'm not going to be gone for, you know, multiple days. Or I would have chose something else. Yeah, so you just throw all that together. And then the taste test. I mean, it's pretty good. Pretty good like it is, but probably gonna add a little bit of salt. That was kind of a lot of salt. And some Cajun, kind of my go-to. Yeah, that adds a lot. A little bit too much salt though. Yeah, earlier when I was talking about not even having a stove, I literally didn't even know anything about these like backpacking stove type stuff either. So I was just eating fast food and camping, and it got kind of expensive that way. And what's really cool about out here, you know, once the sun goes down and it gets a lot darker, you can see all the lights just from all the city, or just from the city and stuff. So that's really neat. You're just kind of, makes you feel like you're a little bit more away than you really are. Yeah, I got here, what time did I say earlier? It was about 7:30, and it's 10 till 8 right now. So we set up, cooked, and I'm already like halfway done eating, roughly. Pretty quick setup. Almost makes me question why I spent so much money on the FJ, yeah? Alright, so one of the next important things that I think, as soon as you finish eating, is to go ahead and wash all your dishes. It's a good habit to get into. I fell asleep multiple times not doing that, and then you wake up in the morning, you've got ants either all on that or in your bag or whatever, and it's pretty irritating. So I'm going to show you how to do that with just this wash stuff, which is just like anywhere else at a sink. Normally though, like the kitchen in my FJ, I'll just use like those disposable wipes and stuff. Just makes it a lot easier, quicker. You don't have to have as much water and stuff either. But find somewhere that you can get wet and you don't have to worry about stepping in it. And then you're just going to kind of rinse it out. Yep, just hanging out. I guess it's still too early, but normally you can see the stars really well. But this is why I like to stay about that far from the ground. That way I can grab everything if need be. I guess that's really it for this video. Forgot how fast it was to set up a hammock and cook off those little backpacking stoves. And I guess I'll see y'all next time. Peace.